Senior Bowl Day 3 just wrapped up, and these are some offensive guys to me that have really stood out and have risen their draft stock based on their play the last 3 days in these Senior Bowl practices. Jayden Higgins out of Iowa State, 6'4", 220. A guy like him should not be able to move the way he was moving in one-on-ones yesterday. This is a guy that showed insane production at Iowa State this season, but he's got insane movement at the line of scrimmage to be able to get away from these smaller defensive backs. A big body wide receiver, Tez Johnson out of Oregon, 5'10", 156 pounds. His weight is a concern, but how many times have we seen in this draft process guys that have been criticized of their weight or not having the prototypical body type, the Tank Dells, the Bucky Irvings, that have slid in the third, fourth round, that have been immediate impact guys for their teams. Tez Johnson's been unguardable all week. Got great spatial awareness, separation ability, and I think he can run every single route in the book. Do not let this guy fall to the Kansas City Chiefs, but I think he's another dude that could slip up to be a second-round pick after what he's shown in Mobile. And then lastly, TCU wide receiver Jack Bech. Everyone wants to look out for that Puka Nacua 2.0. He embodies that. He's 6'2", 215. He's a reliable, consistent catcher of the football. He catches the ball with both his eyes and his hands. He can run some of those intermediate short routes better than a lot of receivers in this class, and he can also take the top off of the defense. He's not going to have that burning speed, but he's going to have that reliable catch radius. Wherever you throw it to him, he'll grab it, like Puka Nacua. Jack Bech, definitely a guy this week in Mobile that has risen his stock. And then the quarterbacks, Dillon Gabriel out of Oregon, and Tyler Shough out of Louisville. Both these guys are older veteran guys. These guys have played 5 to 6 years in college. I don't think that's a knock on them at all. They both learned 3 different playbooks. Both these guys, Dillon Gabriel and Tyler Shough, are great decision makers, can make full field reads, and have super quick twitch throwing motion that can make really accurate throws in a matter of moments. Lastly, we're going in the trenches. Interior offensive lineman, Zaben out of North Dakota State. This guy can play the center position or the guard position, and what you've seen this week, he will not go past the second round. This guy's been going up against Walter Nolan, a bunch of these top 15, top 10 defensive ends and defensive linemen, and have stood his ground. He's got a real anchor. He's great with his hands. Zaben out of North Dakota State, another offensive lineman coming out of North Dakota State that you need to keep an eye out for, and if your team needs some interior offensive linemen, this is a guy that can start day one for your team. Like I said, those are 6 guys to me that have stood out 3 days into the Senior Bowl. Comment below who are some guys to you that have stood out to you for the Senior Bowl.